my radiant explorers of the universe. This is Maya Cat, back with another episode of Astrology Blog, where we unravel mysteries big and small. Today, we're diving into the winter solstice magic. On December 21, 2025, the winter solstice arrives as a cosmic crossroads. With the sun squaring Neptune at the very moment light is reborn, humanity stands between truth and illusion, clarity and dream, sacrifice and selfhood. Discover why this solstice is a soul-level invitation to see clearly, create bravely, and carry your inner light through the fog. As always, I've brought along my brilliant co-host, Brian, to guide us through the details. So grab your favorite drink, or maybe a snack, and let him whisk you away.
Thank you, Maya. You always bring the cosmic vibes. Let's talk about how these planetary movements will influence our lives, and why now is the perfect time to lean into their energy. On December 21st, the sun slips gracefully into Capricorn, and the winter solstice descends, the shortest day and the longest night of the entire year. From this very moment, light begins its slow, quiet return, and by December 22nd, we greet the first sunrise under the sun's new zodiacal transit, as if the cosmos itself were whispering, "Hold on, dawn is coming." Since time immemorial, this day has been revered as a mystical threshold, a sacred hinge between darkness and rebirth. Across Europe and Asia, the winter solstice symbolized nothing less than the triumph of light over shadow, the birth of a new cycle, and the renewal of life force, like the universe taking a deep, silent breath before exhaling a fresh year into existence. In ancient Rome, people celebrated Saturnalia, joyous, topsy-turvy festivals of freedom, generosity, and temporary social inversion, where roles blurred, feasts abounded, and time itself seemed to pause and renew. Candles were gifted as tokens of hope and luminosity, and the release of past burdens was seen not as mere ritual, but as spiritual cleansing, a chance to step into the future unencumbered, light-footed, and full of quiet joy. In the frozen lands of Scandinavia, the festival of Yule honored the great wheel of the year. Communities gathered to coax the sun back from its slumber, lighting roaring bonfires and countless candles to beckon its return. They baked round loaves of bread, perfect golden circles echoing the solar disk, and adorned their homes with evergreen boughs, emblems of nature's eternal resilience, proof that life persists even beneath blankets of snow and silence. The ancient Egyptians, too, marked this solstice as the sacred rebirth of Ra, the solar deity whose return heralded cosmic order restored. For them, it was a moment when the world reawakened with vital energy, and the rising sun became a living promise of harmony between heaven and earth, a celestial guarantee that the wheel of life would keep turning. On this longest night, they lit purifying fires to banish encroaching darkness, chanted incantations for prosperity, and performed protective rites for their households, believing that with the newborn sun came a fresh surge of power capable of shielding families and blessing the entire year ahead. The sun's entry into Capricorn deepens the symbolism. Here, we meet the archetype of the mountain, steep, enduring, demanding ascent. The reborn light is still fragile, barely a glimmer, yet it carries within it the quiet certainty of growth. Mythologically, this mirrors the birth of the hero, vulnerable at first, destined for trials, yet ultimately fated to attain wisdom, strength, and mastery through perseverance. The winter solstice is thus no ordinary turning point. It is an ancient celebration that has weathered millennia, a moment when time itself seems to halt, holding its breath in reverence before pouring new light onto the world. Darkness reaches its zenith, only to gracefully yield. And in that yielding, we reconnect with primal traditions, feel the pulse of archetypal renewal, and plant the seeds, silent, potent, unseen, for everything we wish to manifest in the year ahead. Fire and candles stand as the festival's central symbols, To light a flame on the longest night is an act of profound faith, an audacious declaration that we trust the sun to return, even when the sky offers no proof. Evergreen branches and wreaths speak of life's tenacity, of nature's quiet promise that beneath winter's frost the roots are already dreaming of spring. Feasting and gift-giving, echoes of Saturnalia and Yule, remind us that joy and generosity are not luxuries but necessities, especially when the world outside grows cold and dim. And in our modern age, this time calls for meditation and intention setting, a sacred pause to reflect on what has passed and to plant inner resolutions that will grow in tandem with the returning light. As the sun moves into Capricorn, it adopts qualities of maturity, structure, responsibility, unwavering character, strategic vision, and crystal-clear purpose. This marks the beginning of a season in which we are invited, nay challenged, to become stronger, wiser, and more grounded. We lay the foundation for the coming year through disciplined choices, conscious intentions, and the quiet determination to build something lasting. Capricorn is the archetype of the mountain, not scaled in a single heroic leap, but climbed step by deliberate step, never rushed, never abandoned. On this very day, December 21st, Venus forms a tense square to Saturn, Capricorn's stern ruler, casting a sobering hue over the celebrations. Matters of love and beauty may feel strained, tested by time, distance, or emotional austerity. There might be a palpable chill, a sense that tenderness must be earned, not assumed. Joy no longer arrives unbidden. It demands effort, clarity, and maturity. This is the archetype of emotional trial, where true value reveals itself not through passion alone, but through endurance, loyalty, and depth. Across all cultures, the winter solstice remains a universal hymn to renewal, hope, resilience, and the rebirth of energy. And under the weight of Venus's square to Saturn, we are gently taught a profound lesson, that even when the world feels cold and demanding, we must learn to carry our own inner flame. The energy of this day is paradoxical. It embodies the deepest darkness, the longest night, but simultaneously marks the turning point where daylight begins its imperceptible crawl back. It is a time for introspection, for taking stock of the year's journey, and for planting seeds, metaphorical and spiritual, that will unfurl as the light strengthens. This is the sun's pivotal reversal, the dawn of a new annual energetic cycle. From this moment forward, a fresh life spiral begins to unwind, and the inner state with which you meet this day becomes the very soil in which your entire next year will grow. In astrology, the sun represents your will, your life force, your destiny's direction, and your core purpose. On the solstice, it appears to stand still at the extreme edge of its yearly journey, a celestial pause, making this the perfect moment to fix your gaze inward and ask, where am I truly directing my energy? What legacy do I wish to build with the light I've been given? December 21st, 2025 arrives as the winter solstice, a day when the sun sinks to its lowest point in the sky, ushering in the shortest day and the official start of astrological winter. Symbolically, this invites deep inner reflection, a period of gestation and quiet preparation for the renewal that lies ahead. On this day, the sun forms tense aspects, squares, with other planets, and these alignments will bring internal challenges, catalyze the resolution of long-standing crises, and ignite new beginnings in the life areas ruled by those planets. A square to Mars might spark confrontations that demand decisive action. A square to Saturn could call for sober responsibility, structure, and the courage to face hard truths. The overarching meaning of December 21st, 2025, the solstice itself, is that of a powerful threshold, the death of one cycle and the birth of another. It is a moment of cosmic reset when the outer world dims so the inner world can brighten. During this time of minimal sunlight, the focus turns inward to the soul's search for meaning, to spiritual recalibration, and to the quiet planting of future possibilities. And on this very day, at precisely 15:03 GMT, adjusted for your local time zone, something extraordinary unfolds. The winter solstice coincides with an exact square between the Sun at 29°59' Sagittarius, teetering on the cusp of Capricorn, and Neptune at 29°59' Pisces. This is no ordinary planetary dance. It is a cosmic symbol so potent it touches every single being on Earth, regardless of individual birth charts or beliefs. What does this mean? A square, by nature, brings tension, friction, and the necessity of choice. The Sun stands for truth, clarity, identity, will, and the radiant core of self. Neptune, ever the mystic, embodies illusion, dissolution, dreams, collective consciousness, boundless compassion, artistic inspiration, deception, and spiritual surrender. When these two meet at a 90-degree angle on the solstice, the very hinge between darkness and light, they forge a mythic battle cry echoing through the collective psyche. Light struggles against illusion. Truth labors to be born through fog. On the collective level, this alignment will stir three great currents in human experience. First, a crisis between truth and illusion will peak. Fake news, manipulative narratives, and manufactured realities will flood the infosphere. But simultaneously, a fierce hunger for authenticity will awaken. People will grow weary of masks, both digital and emotional, and demand transparency in politics, media, relationships, and even AI-generated realities. Heroes and charlatans alike will be illuminated by the sun's unblinking gaze. Second, spiritual hunger will surge through the cracks of collective despair. The longest night, amplified by Neptune's dreamy veil, may bring waves of existential fatigue, melancholy, or meaninglessness. But precisely in that void, a spark of hope will ignite. Souls will turn to art, music, meditation, nature, and sacred community for solace. Mysticism, dream work, and healing practices will no longer be fringe interests, but lifelines. Third, a profound tension will arise between self-sacrifice and self-assertion. Neptune urges us to dissolve boundaries, give endlessly, and merge with the whole. The Sun demands we stand firm, claim our voice, and protect our boundaries. The challenge? To care for others without vanishing ourselves. Those in caregiving roles, teachers, healers, activists, may face burnout, but those who find balance will become beacons for the new cycle. This solstice moment is the seed of the solar year ahead. Whatever is conceived in consciousness on December 21st, 2025 will unfurl over the next 12 months. Expect a year defined by the struggle between authenticity and illusion, the rise of quiet, compassionate leadership, not loud ego, the elevation of art and spirituality from decoration to survival tools, and the urgent need to heal collective wounds, not just fix them. Those with strong Neptunian sensitivity in their natal charts may find themselves uniquely equipped to serve as bridges between worlds, translating dreams into action, compassion into structure, vision into form. And so, for all of humanity, this day offers clear guidance. Spend December 21 in stillness. Do not rush to decide, to fix, or to perform. Instead, meditate, breathe. Sit with the darkness, because that is precisely where light is conceived. Question what appears obvious, especially in media and politics. Ask, what lies beneath this glittering surface? Create rather than consume. Write a poem, bake bread, sing off-key, plant a seed, light a candle. Your creativity is your resistance. Guard your energy fiercely. You will feel the weight of the world's sorrow unless you learn to say no without guilt. And above all, seek truth not in headlines, but in silence. Your heart already knows more than any algorithm ever could. This is not a year for easy answers. It is a year for courageous honesty in a world increasingly fluid, foggy, and uncertain. The choice before us is ancient yet urgent. Will we choose faith over cynicism, authenticity over illusion, self-respect over self-erasure? Remember this, the sun has never lost a battle against the night. It does not obliterate darkness. It enters it, transforms it, and emerges renewed. You too are being asked not to fight the fog, but to learn to see through it. So, as the longest night falls on December 21st, 2025, it is light a candle. Whisper your intention, trust that your spark, however small, matters. Because in a world hungry for truth, beauty, and genuine light, it is precisely your quiet, steadfast flame that the future needs most. Happy solstice. May your inner sun never dim.
And there you have it, my cosmic companions. Remember, every challenge is just a stepping stone to greatness. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe so we can keep exploring together, and drop a comment to share your thoughts. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and keep chasing those dreams. Meow, off.